Julius Erving, Andrew Toney, Buck Williams, Michael Ray Richardson, and the Nets. Meanwhile, we're underway in the second half of this 33rd All-Star game, and on a turnover, the West coming back with Gus Williams. Gus Williams pulls up over Isaiah Thomas, misses, and Larry Bird. Good position for the rebound. Lead
Good
pass
fake
to Thomas.
Good fake by Larry Bird. Because Gus Williams filled the passing lane there to try to steal the ball, and he gave him a good fake and then lobbed it over to Isaiah Thomas, which is an outstanding play.
Bird and Erving at forward. The dock is short. Malone there. Talk about getting offensive rebounds and fighting his way in. Malone will go to the line. So it's Bird and Erving up front. Malone the center. Isaiah Thomas at guard along with Sidney Moncrief. For the West, they're going with Gus Williams and George Gervin at guard. Artis Gilmore, Jack Sikma, who's playing a forward position, and Kiki Vandeweghe.
You know, it may be difficult for Moses to have an outstanding All-Star game because of the way he plays. A lot of things he does, these other guys' skills overlap in an All-Star game. But for his team that he plays for, he is so much better than most of us thought because he can adjust to what his team needs. He's quite adaptable as a player.
Sikma brings the West to within 5, and now the West can come within 3, and they should. Gus Williams with the drop behind him, and Julius Erving knocks it away. He saved the basket, and now he saves Gus Williams. A tremendous defensive play by Julius.
He had that all the way. He had it all the way. See, he's watching him. There. Great play.
Example
you
of
don't see that very much. Chasing the guy.
The defensive people you were talking about. Larry Bird leaks it up. Moncrief. Julius. Five-point lead. Julius Erving can smile off Sikma. Picked up by Moncrief. Basket hanging is the doctor. 10 for Erving. Bird leads with 12, and so does Isaiah Thomas have 12 points. Opening minute and a half of the third period, and a steal by Moncrief. He has shown well in this game. Julius gets it back to Bird. Tough pass. Bird to Malone. Not this time. Gilmore. Thomas and Bird with 12 points. Erving has 10 for the East. Alex English, the leading scorer for the West, with 10. Thompson has 8, but Kareem has had an outstanding game. Not starting this second half. Isaiah Thomas. He may be playing the best of any of them.
Well, he and Bird both. Now, that was just a nice play by Larry Bird. He could dunk that very easily, and he just gave it to, because Isaiah had a half a step on him. He gave it up.
So Isaiah Thomas has 14 points, 7 for 9 shooting, and 4 steals, and Bird has 7 rebounds. So far, Bird is looking good as Isaiah Thomas is. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the West. Long way to go, however. Kiki Vandeweghe misses the shot. The rebound, Moses Malone. 9:35 to go in the third period. 75-66, a 9-point lead for the East Stars. And turns it over off the shoe of Malone, and here comes the West.
And looked a little bit like Pele on that play.
Gilmore. Gus Williams. Julius took it right out of Moncrief's hand. Lead pass to Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah, what a pass to Moncrief for a save and a basket. Wow.
Sidney Moncrief.
How about Isaiah Thomas with a save?
And a great pass.
Moncrief has hit his last 4 shots.
Now the pass was a little long for Isaiah Thomas, but he went in there. Major Sidney, and this is a play with the big guy there. Good body control. 3-point play. Take that, big guy.
Gilmore with 3 personal fouls, 78-66. Up by 12 again. The East biggest lead was 16 in the first half. The West came back to tie it at 60. They outscored 18-6. Gilmore double team. Tipped up by Sikma. Keeping it alive, the West. But now it's a 3-on-1 break with Erving, Malone, He doesn't need Malone.
Take that, little guy. I love it.
They fly, don't they? Vandaway popped from outside. And the pass again. Vandaway knocks it away and perhaps saves a basket with Erving going for
Definitely saved the basket.
Magic Johnson will come back in the ball game. And Gus Williams goes out. Magic is in. That's the man they want to see here at the Forum in Inglewood. East has won the last 3 All-Star games. The Doc, his teammate Moses Malone. Short. And the Doc. How did he get in there?
Wasn't easy.
Bird fires back and it was deflected and picked off by Gervin.
Good idea.
Bird again. Watch the pass to Erving. 2-on-1 again with Gilmore back. Foul and it counts.
Larry Bird get out that pass to the Doc in the front court. And here he comes. Okay, big guy, get ready for this. Oh, that's me.
The starting forwards, 2 brilliant performers for their respective clubs. The foul on Gilmore, his 4th personal foul. Kareem has replaced him at center. Erving now has 15 points and is the leading scorer in the game. He has won 1 MVP award back in '77. His son would like him to win another one. His sons are all here.
They like the way the trophy looks.
Magic misses outside. Malone. Isaiah Thomas. 2 more. And the East is showing their speed and strength. Thomas with 16 and the West calls a timeout.
And the difference again, as we said earlier, was going to be the defense. And the East is playing outstanding defense.
Biggest lead of the ball game right now with that basket by Thomas. 17-point lead, 85-68. We have 7:43 remaining in this 3rd period. The East has outscored the West 16-4 this half. Opened up 85-68 lead. And let's see if Kareem and company can come back. There's a start as going inside Magic Johnson is fouled.
What Pat Riley's trying to do now is get back in his ball game. And what he's going to do is set up the guys that he has. He has a good fast break team, but he also has a good half-court offensive team. When you have Kareem in the lineup, you always have a good half-court offense. But he's got Vandaway and Gerving and Magic, who are good on the open court, those 3 guys. So that now they'll have to buckle up defensively. But that's what they're going to have to try to get back in this game.
And they're going to need Magic Johnson in there, particularly. Gervin for his scoring proficiency. Moncrief missing outside, but Isaiah Thomas is there with a pass into Moncrief. It's tipped away in a fine defensive maneuver, and it's Gervin. Oh, across the line. Wisely, they let it wait. 15-point lead for the East, and the West trying to come back with Sigma, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Kiki Vandaway.
That's that instant offense that they're going to use. See, if you can get an instant offense, it's called an easy shot like that, you can really bear down defensively. It's much easier.
Vandaway, 7 points in the game. Told you about his father, former NBA star, mother's former Miss America. Thomas on a roll. He's got it in a foul. So Isaiah Thomas now has 18 points in the game on 9 of 11 shooting. The Western honorary captain for the Western Conference, Elgin Baylor. How good?
How good in his playoff final game, he got 61 against us. We put everybody, then we had to call the Boston police. That didn't help either.
Did he have moves or what?
And he could shoot at the end of the move. That's what made it so tough.
6:35 remaining. Sigma very tough facing the basket. Not that time. Julius Erving looks down court. Great court sense. Moncrief blows it up. Feeding Erving. It was blocked inside. Magic Johnson didn't have possession. Didn't walk. Kareem back to Sigma. Kareem should have taken the shot, but he saw Sigma on the right corner of his eye coming in, and now it's 88-74.
The good defensive players will make you pass the ball no matter who you are. Come on, DJ, let's go back.
Larry Bird looking into Moses Malone. You can see Sigma double teaming Malone every time the ball goes in there. Bird. 5 seconds on the 24-second shot clock, and there's Isaiah Thomas. He's everywhere with that loose ball. And there's Vandaway trying for the steal. Doesn't work. Malone into Moncrief. Now block. Kareem got a hand on it, and Gervin picked it up, but he was standing out of bounds, so it'll be East ball. And coming back in, David Thompson, number 45, and going out is George Gervin.
You remember yesterday, Dick, at practice how these guys were smiling and having a good time? Look at them now. Nobody's smiling.
That's right. That's right. I guess all the fun part is worn off.
Well, this is fun, but they're serious as a heart attack.
Moses Malone with a turnaround jumper. 9 points for Malone. 5.5 minutes remaining. Third period. Dick Stockton and Bill Russell. 33rd annual NBA All-Star game. Kareem. That wasn't a skyhook. That was just a simple jump shot from the baseline.
He has worked very hard the last 3 years on that jump shot to make it a very integral and consistent part of his offense.
Julius comes back with one outside.
And so has he.
We have 5:08 to go, and the East already has scored 92 points. I suspect a high-scoring affair.
Yeah, they're going to have to crank it up, though.
Kareem has not missed yet. He's 5 for 5. It's Malone and Kareem. And don't forget, if Philadelphia plays L.A. in the championship, because Boston fans are saying, hey, wait. He'll go at it then. Erving, 2 in a row outside for the doctor. He has 19 now. Magic Johnson double team.
Isaiah again.
3-on-1. Bird.
Take that.
He banked it in. Larry Bird. 14 points. Everyone's down there for the East. Moncrief. This is showtime. Malone fouled by Thompson. Tommy Heinsohn doing the radio broadcast.
You know, in Tommy's first All-Star game, it was in Boston, and he went 17 for 20.
Is that right?
He got the ball 20 times and shot at 17. He says, I'm a shooter. I'm not trying to fool anybody. I shoot.
That's why they called him Tommy Gun. Tommy Gun. Well, here's Moses Malone.
Well, you know, he made 7 of those 17 shots, but there have been some guys that had long nights. In the game in 61, Heine went, that's what we call him, 2 for 16.
Yeah.
And Dave DeBusschere, persistent as ever. In 1966, he went 1 for 14.
Oh, any other one?
Well, in the game in 77, George Gervin missed 6. He said, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Those are some of the less sterling performances. Maurice Cheeks is in the game. Quiet, type, tough playmaker. They double team Malone, leaving Larry Bird open.
That could be a mistake.
Rebound is Maurice Lucas. 3:40 remaining in the third period. 97-78. Wilkes comes in.
And there's that Magic Jamal combination. These guys have ESP. They work so well together. It's unbelievable.
Bird on a running shot. Bird again. Malone. Buck Williams. Well, Magic Johnson and Jamal Wilkes have performed. Wilkes knows Magic's moves. He gets free, and the way Magic can thread the pass, like you said, with the velocity and the spin and so forth.
You know, Jamal says that it's eerie. That it's sometimes kind of scary because he's always looking around him because he doesn't know if Magic's going to pass to him. He was there, not on the court, in the dressing room, he thinks sometimes.
Jamal Wilkes. Short, and Parish is coming to the ball game. 0-0 replacing Malone. Other substitutions. Marcus Johnson in for Larry Bird. Moncrief misses, and Maurice Lucas, the power forward, the ultimate rebounder, to David Thompson.
Denis looks all right now.
15-point lead for the East with under 3 minutes remaining in the third period. And the West were trying to make a big run here so they can get set for the fourth period.
He just made little steps on that one.
Maurice Cheeks, you leave him open, he'll burn you. And he did there, only his second bucket. 99-82, the East in front. Larry Bird, by the way, on the bench now, 14 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. Candidate for MVP, you can say that. Kareem is 2 for the West. He has 12 points on a perfect shooting afternoon.
And Isaiah Thomas has had an outstanding game also.
Moncrief, he can come inside with any guard in the league and fight. They're going to call a jump ball. Looks like Thompson and Moncrief. Billy Cunningham had an interesting thing. He said, look, says, if I find that someone's really trying to win the MVP award by shooting a lot, we're going to call a timeout and talk things over. He says, let's just let it happen. And it's happening for him.
Sure is.
Steve Stepanovich of the Missouri Tigers and Ralph Sampson of the Virginia Cavaliers be here next weekend for top college basketball. And there's Jamal Wilkes as you see top pro basketball here on CBS. Magic has 10 assists now, and the East lead is 13 points at 99-86, and we have 2 minutes now remaining in the third period. Marcus Johnson doesn't make it, and Kareem the rebound. Magic. Lucas. Tipped up and in by Magic Johnson. Magic and Kareem.
And this is a physical lineup that, except for Jamal Wilkes, he plays a very physical lineup that the West squad has.
They're using all three Lakers in the lineup at the same time, Pat Riley is. West has scored 8 in a row. And Wilkes clears it. So it's 3 Lakers, Johnson, Wilkes, and Kareem, along with Lucas and David Thompson, with 1:15 remaining in the third period. West trying to make another run at the East. It's still going to be West ball out of bounds. And coming back in is Andrew Toney, a little offensive power for the East. Toney coming in, replacing Sidney Moncrief.
We'll see. Toney is a better outside shooter than Sidney Moncrief, and he may be just as physical.
Thompson lost it out of bounds, and so the inbound pass, one of the tough things to do in the game. A lot of people think it's automatic.
Because you have to realize that you have to always concentrate on the most important thing is get the ball first.
West. 8 in a row for the West. Parish turnaround over Kareem. Magic Johnson, the leading rebounder on the Lakers. That's right, a 6'9" guard, leads them in rebounds, threads it in, and it's intercepted. Toney was keeping an eye out for Wilkes. Parish comes right back, and that's a big rally breaker. Big rally breaker. Wilkes is fouled. So they tried the old Magic Wilkes trick, and Toney intercepted.
Well, I think that the other guys are a little aware of those two guys working together. You know, when Magic got the ball, you better keep an eye on Wilkes.
35 seconds remaining, third period. It's 101-88, and on the line is Jamal Wilkes. The personal foul was Marcus Johnson. No one in any real foul trouble other than Gilmore with 4, who's on the bench right now. Jamal Wilkes, Rookie of the Year 8 years ago, NBA title with the Golden State Warriors.
Now, if the West can stop the East this time down and get another basket before the quarter, it's a real good ball game now, again. Because the East threatened to go up and hide.
Toney playing him tough as Thompson. Marcus Johnson, Andrew, this is a 2-point shot. It's good. He was right on that line. So a 13-point lead, 13 seconds to go in the West.
That's a new guard for the West. Biggest guard in basketball.
Lucas throws it away. Inopportune turnover as Pat Riley turns his back. And now with 6 seconds, the East can make it 15 points. They can get the last shot. This is a 3-point attempt. No good by Andrew Toney. And that is the end of the third period here at the All-Star game. The East 103, the West 90. And we'll return to the Forum after this word from your local station. With Pettit and Hagan, Slater Martin. The East has out-rebounded the West 38-26 with their physical, burly style. Kareem with a hook shot at the baseline. And it's 103-92. The West, Kareem is perfect from the field. It's 7 for 7 in the game. Alex English is in the ball game for the West. And Jim Paxson, number 4, has come in. Cheeks remains at guard. The other guard with the ball right now is Toney. So 2 of the Philadelphia 76ers, their starters are in there now. Top of the key, Mo Cheeks. This is Kareem reaches high. Magic Johnson threads it to Alex English, the leading scorer in the NBA, has 2 and a foul, and Pat Riley's happy. English was 4th in scoring last year at nearly 25.5 points a game. He's just about at 30 points right now. He's played with Milwaukee, Indiana, Denver. It's English, Vandeweghe, and Issel. Good front line for Denver, a prolific offensive team.
I was about to say he has a real soft touch, but with that brick,
how come I say it and you avoid that?
I thought it, but I didn't say it.
9-point lead. Biggest was 19 at 99-80 for the East. Marcus Johnson to Parish, trying to gamble his Magic for the steal, and there is a steal off the hands of Cheeks. Goes to Paxson to Magic. It counts. Basket good. Dave Wall, one of Pat Riley's assistants, and Erving Magic Johnson.
Now here's the steal here. Paxson picks up the steal, and he and Magic are going pretty good, and there goes Magic down the lane. One thing that Magic Johnson does as well as anyone in basketball, maybe the best in basketball at this point, is he finds the middle of the court. So he always gives himself a left and right-handed option.
6-point lead. Plenty of time to go. More than 10.5 minutes remaining. Listen to an all-star crowd yelling defense. Cheeks put a move on Magic. What a move by Mo Cheeks. He went right around him as if he weren't there.
He'll do that kind of thing.
105-97. Magic Johnson has 12 assists in the game. The all-star record is 14, set by Oscar Robertson in 1961. Lucas might have tipped that one. And that's a good call. Lucas tipped it over Cheeks.
And he tried to do a little referee in there. Almost worked.
He's been known for that. It's called gamesmanship as Gus Williams comes back in the game. Magic Johnson goes out. Keep in mind, he's 2 assists away from the all-star record set by Oscar Robertson in 1961. Robert Parish, the chief, outside. Buck Williams, Marcus Johnson. And the starting 76er tandem in the backcourt of Tony with the ball now, and Mo Cheeks working on Paxson. Andrew Tony hit.
And Paxson actually hit the ball on that shot. So it was good defense, but Tony, what does he care about good defense?
4 for 5, outstanding shooter. One of those players that wants the ball. Stripped away. That was Cheeks with the steal. Tony picks it up. 4-on-2 break, and Parish gets the 2. Mo Cheeks with the steal, and he has led the Sixers in steals every year he's been with the club.
And Robert Parish is the best running center, I think, in basketball today.
And good outside shot, as we said, so he's versatile.
I should say, for professional basketball, because there are a couple of big guys in college that can run pretty good, too.
Yes, we've heard about him. We have a timeout. 9:26 remaining, 4th period. It was 20 years ago, and this is how he did it. He can't do this anymore, ladies and gentlemen.
I sure can.
You can do that, maybe. Bill Russell, MVP 20 years ago, accepting congratulations. And as Bill said, the career wouldn't have been complete without winning it. And someone today is going to capture that trophy, the MVP trophy, after the game, and we'll have coverage of that as well. So there's plenty to look forward to, and we'll have a foul against the East Star. 9:17 remaining in the 4th period. 109-97. They're getting ready for a rivalry, aren't they?
Old line fans.
East with a 12-point lead. Maurice Lucas misses it out of bounds, and it's going to be the East ball. Paxson didn't go after it. Thought it was last touched by an East player. There you're looking at the Brain Trust. Pat Riley, Jack Curran on the left, Bill Burke, his assistant for the West. Thomas and Erving, 19 points for the East. Bird has 14. The leading scorer for the West, Kareem, with 14, Magic 13. Foul, and Parish got inside and is hit.
Another good pass, because Tony knew the big guy was going to be there, because he can post up most guys. And so that when the center comes over, he's got good eyes. He can see all of the court much better than you would expect from a guy as a shooter, because most shooters have what you call tunnel vision, because all they can see is that hoop. Because you have to do that when you're going to take aim. So I remember talking to Bill Sharman when I was a young guy, talking about aiming. I said, what do you aim for? He said, the front and the back rim.
Easy for him to say.
Yeah. I couldn't even say it.
It was a dead eye. Alex English working against Marcus Johnson. Marcus covered the baseline well. Fine defense by Marcus. And it's going to be, should be East ball. but they give it to the West, and Billy Cunningham is...
Good acting job by Maurice Lucas. He just stepped outside like he assumed it was his ball.
All right, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is going out of the ball game. He has scored 14 points, Kareem, and has 7 for 8 from the field, and Gilmore with 4 fouls replaces him. And Gus Williams gets the bucket, 110 to 99. They cut it to 6 at one point in the third period. Now it's an 11-point game, 8:26 to go. Coming back for more. Paxson on the left for Gus Williams, and he goes to Paxson. Goaltending.
Got to be goaltending because he knocked it into the backboard.
That might have been Buck Williams. Is that Buck that knocked it against the glass? It was. So credit the bucket to Paxson, who has 6 in the game. And it's a 9-point lead for the East. So the West is making a run here.
With plenty of time.
Gus Williams overplaying the pass. Cheeks and Tony been in there a while. The 76er guards. Paxson knocks the ball away. 2-on-2. Gus Williams controlling. Gus took a bad shot. And the crowd lets him kind of know about it. Not that they wouldn't anyway, being a Seattle Sonic.
That's the way Gus has to play. He can't be inhibited. Because he gives instant offense. Like I said, it makes it easy to play defense when you don't have to worry about...
Buck Williams crashing the boards, and Artis Gilmore clears. And you're right, some are not going to make it, and some are not good percentage shots, and others are. Gilmore fighting for the offensive glass, and the old schoolyard play by Buck Williams. Ray Melchiori, the Celtic trainer, serving the East squad, and Jack Curran, longtime trainer for the West, the Los Angeles Lakers.
He used to be a trainer for the Seattle Supersonics.
Isaiah Thomas is in the game now.
And the trainers love to do an all-star game because they don't have any complaints.
They're yelling basket. They didn't get it there. Ace ball. Paxson got too close inside. They're yelling magic. I'm sorry. They're yelling magic. Capacity crowd here at the Forum in Inglewood, where the Lakers are the reigning NBA champions. And they're going to get their wish. Tony, Parish, foul. And here he comes back in the game.
And Lucas got kicked in his stomach.
Magic Johnson, who has 13 points and 12 assists, 2 short of the all-star record, is into the ball game now, replacing Gus Williams. There's the clock. 4th period. 9-point East lead, and Parish is on the line shooting 2. Personal was on Maurice Lucas. Now they're yelling, "We want Kareem."
They don't want much.
You know what? They may get him.
I think they will.
Under 7 minutes remaining in the 4th period. Magic Johnson and a steal by Parish. Good anticipation, Parish, and he's part of an East surge, and Pat Riley looking on, and a 13-point East lead again, and Parish has scored 13.
Those steps by Aaron.
Lucas in the lane, short. Tony. All the way, and Isaiah Thomas couldn't hold the pass.
We might have held on to that one a little too long.
We have still more than half of the 4th period remaining, and it's a 13-point East lead, but the West got to come back with something, I think.
Defense.
Julius Erving is back in the ball game for the East squad. They've got Thomas and Tony in the backcourt. Marcus Johnson and Erving up front. Parish, the center, who's done very well. Irvin Magic Johnson looking inside, and Alex English, the leading scorer in the NBA, is short with it. They're missing a lot of shots now, the West. And it's coming out of nowhere. Steal, Magic. Paxson. Blocked, and a foul. It's against Parish.
I don't remember seeing a game with this many blocked shots. You know, in an all-star game, most of the guys that get here because of their offensive reputation. But we just seen just so many blocked shots today, it's unbelievable. Because a lot of these guys are like Julius and Bird and Kareem and guys like that are good defensive players.
Jim Paxson, who had a disappointing rookie year, now a team leader, sets the example, a complete player. Dad, of course, Bill played against him with Minneapolis and Cincinnati. Brother Jim stand out at Notre Dame. The West still has it. Magic to Paxson. You know, Magic Johnson told me at the workout yesterday, he says, you know, I admire a lot of the players here, but I like Paxson. He makes me work hard because he's always moving without the ball. Good compliment for the kid. 13 assists for Magic Johnson, one away from the NBA record. 114 to 104. 5.5 minutes remaining in the fourth period. 10-point lead. There's Isaiah Thomas off the mark. Lucas snares it.
You know, at this point, as far as these guys are concerned, this is no longer an all-star game. This is a game we got to win.
And the follow-up by Alex English. And it's an 8-point game.
You know, because, you know, even in all-star games, guys are trying to establish something psychologically on players, on their teammates, and on the other team.
Marcus Johnson. That's interesting.
Because you can establish things that in the back of their minds that they won't ever forget.
Well, they'll never forget Magic Johnson's end-to-end foray. He is taking things in his own hands. 15 points. And now a chance to move it to within 6 points. Magic. Straight for the West, and Magic has hit his last 4 in a row. 13 assists, 5 rebounds, 4 steals. Magic Johnson's bid for MVP honors. Larry Bird, meanwhile, has established his credentials as well. But Erving Magic Johnson, who has 8 assists this half, to tie a record set by Bob Cousy and Oscar Robertson. Pretty good company indeed. And this... no violation. Bird kept his feet on the offensive side of the court. Moncrief goes in for the layoff and a big basket because the West had cut it to 6.
Good play by Isaiah Thomas. He penetrated, and when the defense dropped in as he knew he would, he was able to get a good pass off the Sidney Moncrief.
Thomas is having a fine game. Kareem is in the ball game. Jamal Wilkes will go in. So as we anticipated, Pat Riley's going with his Laker trio down the stretch. Kareem skyhook. And Bird out to Isaiah Thomas. He's got Moncrief again inside. And the Julius Doctor. What a play. Keeps showing you more, doesn't he? Kareem. Again, Kareem foul. 3:33 remaining in the fourth period, and the East leading by 10 points. And here's Jamal Wilkes coming into the ball game for the West.
Today only happened for one reason, and that...
Going out is Maurice Lucas. Bird has 4 personal fouls. Here's that play by Julius.
Right, and he gets the ball here, and you don't say anything else.
Kareem misses the free throw. Let's see now. We've got Julius Erving and Malone of Philadelphia, along with Erving, Moncrief, and Isaiah Thomas. So 2 Sixers are out there and 3 Lakers with 3.5 minutes to go. 9-point lead for the East. They've been leading all the way, as much as 19 points. West tied it at 60. Then they upped it again and they cut it down to 6. Bird. 7 seconds on the shot clock. And a 3-point attempt is missed, and the East red shirts are all there inside, and Moncrief with a fine inside play. So Sidney Moncrief, 2 good inside shots and an 11-point game. Steele, Malone, Moncrief. Down the stretch, it's Sidney's game. 13-point lead. And now we're under 3 minutes to go. Paxson with a runner, gets 2 of them back.
Now the West needs to make a couple of defensive stops.
But they might also need, as we get down closer, Gervin for a three-point play. Bird with a wild shot, but there's Moncrief and a new clock for the East. Bird, top of the key.
That's a real Pele shot. That was a header.
That was a header. Let's see who gets. They credited to Moncrief. Might as well credit it to Sidney Moncrief.
Well, it was his head that it went off of. He says you got to play defense no matter how I shoot it.
13-point lead. Jamal Wilkes comes back with 2. But the West, as you point out, so true, Bill, they're going to have to play defense here because they just can't trade baskets at this rate with less than 2 minutes to play. Magic has 14 assists in the game to tie Oscar Robertson's all-star record set 22 years ago. And here's a chance for the West to come back with 139. English. Magic. It's going to be Wilkes. Blocked by Malone. And Julius Erving at the other end. Timeout by the West. We're not going to see.
This is what you call a heads-up basketball here. Rebound come. There's using the old head.
Well, you know, that MVP award is going to be pretty tight, I think.
Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas. These guys have. And Sidney Moncrief has come on strong in the second half. So
George Gervin, the Iceman, with 8 points. Moses Malone out to Bird, using the clock with a minute to go. 128, 10-point lead. Isaiah Thomas blocked by Kareem, and it's the West ball.
He doesn't know how big those guys are. He just goes in there.
That's the 4th block shot by Kareem, who has 15 points and 6 rebounds. Shot is good and a foul, and they're coming back. 49 seconds. The clock is on the side of the East. And Magic Johnson has set a new NBA All-Star Game record with 15 assists, breaking the mark set by the great Oscar Robertson in 1961. And a three-point play by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 128, 121, 48 seconds to go, and pressure defense for the first time. 45 seconds. 7-point lead. The West really has to shut the East down totally and get a couple of breaks. 12 seconds on the 24-second shot clock. 33 seconds in the game. 6 seconds on the shot clock. And that'll do it. If there was any chance the West had of coming back, the Doc took care of it.
That's a pretty good combination, Bird and Erving.
You think so? Kareem comes back with 2. 130 to 123, and the East 20 seconds away from making it 4 in a row. 4 straight victories in the All-Star game and opening up the overall margin to 22 to 11, doubling the West. Keep in mind, we're going to be having the All-Star selection and the interview with the MVP All-Star here. Foul is on George Gervin with 16 seconds to go. Smart thing to do when you're behind. You just want to stop the clock as much as you can.
Too late.
So we'll see what happens. Moncrief on the line has 18 points, 6 steals, and 4 assists. And he's really put away the West when they've come close at the end.
I can't recall seeing an All-Star game where this many different players had such outstanding games. You know, usually one guy will be, it'll all work for him, 1 or 2 guys, but so many players had outstanding games today. Moncrief and Magic, both in the second half, really came on strong, for example.
Moncrief has scored 10 points in his 4th period. Finals play of the game, and Bird tried to do a little alley-oop with the Falcons. It didn't work. And that's it. That's it. The East has won it. The East has won it 132 to 123. Julius Julius Erving with 25 points. 20 for Moncrief, 19 for Thomas, 14 for Bird. For the East, Kareem had 20, Magic Johnson 17, and Johnson with 16 assists set a new NBA All-Star record. And no, the fans here enjoyed the games, and there's the Doctor and Magic All-Star game, 132 to 123. We're going to be back with the most valuable player of this 33rd annual All-Star game. But right now, let's send you back to New York and Brent Musburger. Brent. All right. Elegant statesman of professional basketball, Julius Erving of the Philadelphia 76ers. It's his second MVP, and right here with me also is the commissioner of the NBA, Larry O'Brien. Larry?
Another great NBA All-Star game. I'm sure the fans here and across the country enjoyed it immensely. And a worthy winner of the Most Valuable Player Award, Julius Erving. Many awards and one more again. Julius, congratulations from all of us. It's just tremendous.
All right, and also with us is Senior Vice President of the Miller Brewing Company, Tom Shropshire. Some words to say, Tom.
On behalf of the Miller Brewing Company, I am pleased to salute you, Julius, for winning, being selected the 1983 Best Player of the NBA game. On behalf of Miller High Life, we're going to donate a $2,000 check in your name to the Special Olympics.
That's terrific. Julius, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions here, and that's nice of Tom. And Commissioner O'Brien, this is your second MVP award, 1977. We were here yesterday at practice. Tell us what happened. You have all your kids here and turquoise as well. What'd they say?
Well, I did about 4,000 interviews yesterday. But upon leaving, my son said that that's a beautiful trophy over there, and I like the blue. Maybe we could take it home. And I said, this is not what the game is about. It's about coming and playing hard. And there are going to be a lot of outstanding performances. The MVP is something that, you know, the players don't talk about getting in the locker room. It's something that, you know, the fans select and the committee selects. So I feel very, very fortunate to have won it. But I didn't plan on doing it.
Well, I know Billy said, look, let's not think of the MVP award. Let's just play and let it take care of itself. What energizes you to perform the way you do? I know you've been doing things like this for years in the All-Star game, first in the ABA and now in the NBA, where you always rise to the occasion in this kind of a form.
Well, Dick, I think, you know, the Lord has blessed me with tremendous basketball ability, and I think I owe it to him, and I owe it to the public, the fans, and my family, and the club that I'm representing to go out and play as hard as I can each time I step on the hardwood. And I think that attitude has a contagious effect. It has a contagious effect on your teammates, and certainly they have that type of an effect on you. On days when you don't feel like doing it, you know, you see a guy out there working hard and with the right attitude, and you just get caught up in it. So it works both ways, and there's a lot of reciprocity there. So, you know, that's why it happens. And this game, you know, people say it's a showcase. Guys come out to just display their skills. You know, they're not here to just show up and play basketball. They're here to win. They're here to work hard, and they're representing a lot of people, not only the fans, but their clubs back home and their families back home.
The one thing you said yesterday, Julius, is that it's a fun time, but the only time you have fun is when you're working up a sweat and having a good time. There were so many people that could have won this award. I mean, Bill Russell was saying, I've never seen a game where so many people, Moncrief, Bird, Isaiah Thomas, plus yourself.
Right, and Magic Johnson played great, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played great. So it, you know, it could have gone to a lot of different people, but, you know, as you guys said, there's only going to be one winner. But, you know, we got to get back to work on Wednesday, and the real McCoy will be the regular season and the playoffs.
All right,
so that's the big one that we're going after.
Congratulations. Magic Johnson set an all-time assist record for the NBA. Thank you to Tom Shropshire and Commissioner Larry O'Brien. And right now, we want to tell you that the executive producer of NBA basketball on CBS is Ted Shaker. Our game producer, Michael Burks. Fine job by everyone in our production truck. Sandy Grossman, our director, and Marty Aronoff, our right-hand man. Outstanding job as well. Thanks to everyone that had a role. And that's the story here from the Forum in Inglewood, California, where the East has won its fourth in a row, and Julius Erving, the MVP, 132 to 123 to final. Right now, let's send you back to New York and Brent Musburger.